Hello, everyone, and welcome into Fridays with Phil. I'm Phil Mayo, and I would like to share with you 5 minutes of biblical insight to help you along the way. If you enjoy the content, please be sure to subscribe. The Ephesian message is the first of 7 messages to the churches in Asia. Ephesus was an important city in the province of Asia, and therefore the revelation probably first arrived here on its journey from Patmos. Each message has the same basic structure. They begin with a unique description of Jesus drawn from the visionary scene of chapter 1. Following this is a message addressing the specific situation of the church. The message then concludes with a promised reward for overcoming and an exhortation to listen to the Spirit's word. To the Ephesians, John writes, "These are the words of him who holds the 7 stars in his right hand and walks among the 7 golden lampstands." In the body of the message, Jesus praises them for not having tolerated wickedness, having exposed false prophets, having endured hardships for his name, and for not having grown weary. They, however, lack one thing. You have left your first love, he says. They must therefore remember from where they have fallen and repent and do the first works. What is interesting in this message is the recurring word works. It appears in verse 2 with the intensifying word labor or toil. In verse 5, there are works they have forgotten to do, and in verse 6, they are praised for hating the works of the Nicolaitans. What does this word works signify? Works simply means the things we do that demonstrate who we are, our character, and our priorities. For the Ephesians, their works are good. They've endured and resisted evil. There are, however, works they have neglected. They have forgotten their first love. So they are called to remember, to turn around or to repent, and to do the works they first did. I'm reminded of something Jesus said in Matthew 7:22-23. "Many will say to me on that day, 'Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform many miracles?' I will tell them plainly, 'I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers.'" You see, it's not what we do for him, but who we are in him. At the start of my international teaching ministry, God called me to a personal prayer retreat. I went to a local retreat center for a few days to spend some time with God. I remember the first day at the retreat and the very first thing God said to me. As I was praying, I heard, "This is it, Phil, right here. The time you spend with me is more important than anything you do for me." Since I was stepping out into a new ministry, I think Jesus wanted to remind me of the first works. The first works are the things that define our relationship with him. It's where everything begins, in his presence. The Ephesian believers had forgotten the first works. In their effort to live out their faith, they had forgotten to maintain their intimacy with Christ. This can happen all too easily. I think that's why we see ministers fall. If the Ephesian believers don't return to the first works, Jesus will remove their lampstand from his presence. Neglect of their relationship with him will result in a loss of their place, a loss of intimacy with Christ. This threat of removal brings us back to the beginning description of the message from the one who walks among the 7 golden lampstands. The message closes with one last commendation. You have this in your favor. You hate the works of the Nicolaitans. We'll talk more about the Nicolaitans when we look at the message to Pergamum. The Ephesians who overcome are promised the right to eat from the tree of life in the paradise of God. a promise that connects this message to the final scenes of Revelation. Next week, we'll consider the message to Smyrna, where Satan has his throne. Won't you join me? Thank you, and God bless you.